Hey, been a while. As many of you know, Unity recently did some questionable things, and I was actually using Unity to make my horror game bounding main. So that kind of sucks. Basically, they just made some price changes, and even though it would never apply to me, it's just more the principle of the thing. I don't really want to support a company that makes changes to their engine on a whim like that. But luckily, one engine has risen from the dust and ashes and has stood proud among my tools for game development. And that is Godot. And I've been working on a new project with Godot. And let me tell you, I've been having a lot more fun using Godot than Unity. Anyways, what am I doing? What have I been up to? Well, I've been working on a top-down pixel art game called Starground. Here's the logo. You see the logo? But the game is essentially a mashup of a few main genres. I've always enjoyed number go-up games like Factorio and Forager, and I wanted to take my own spin on it. There's always a few problems I've found with those games, though. Now, the first problem is a lack of multiplayer. I really love Forager, but it's a single-player game, and it sucks that I can't play with my friends. So Starground will be full online multiplayer. The second is just one-dimensional gameplay. Totally fine if you love one genre, right? But if you're playing with friends that might only love just automation or just exploration, then you want to have both so everyone can play together. And Starground will essentially be a mashup of multiple genres. Essentially, I want this game to be a playground type of experience where you can sort of do whatever you want. I like how open Minecraft is, but I also like the technical depth of Factorio, and that kind of gets broken up into three pillars of this game. So the first is automation. I want to have a technical outlet for people like me that love to optimize and solve logic puzzles. And being someone with thousands of hours in automation games, this is a genre I know very well, and hopefully I can do well. And the second is dungeoning. Basically, this would be sort of a roguelite experience, so you can spend some time exploring and fighting enemies while you wait for your factory to do stuff. And then there's a third secret category, but I'm gonna leave you all hanging and talk about that another time. So what is the main premise of the gameplay? I want a very diverse set of gameplay mechanics so that everyone has their own niche they can kind of fill out. One of my big goals with this is making everything optional. So essentially you can finish the game by just building your factory or just dungeoning, because I don't want to lock people into specific gameplay loops. Because I find that makes everything feel like a chore, and if a player decides to get involved in all of them, then they can benefit each other. So for example, if you spend time automating, you can upgrade your equipment and get stronger in the dungeons. Likewise, maybe you can find artifacts in the dungeons that make automation easier. For example, a longer tool reach artifact for maybe a move speed, etc. But yeah, that's the whole premise. Usually a number 0 devlog is just pure speculation, but I've been working away at it already. And what have I done already? Let me show you. A lot of the work has just been me getting Godot multiplayer stable, and it's been a rough road since I've never done any multiplayer. I've got it at a really good spot right now, actually. I've been using the built-in high-level multiplayer in Godot, and it's pretty decent. I started out using manual remote procedure calls, which just send some data to a client from the host. But spawner and synchronizer nodes make everything a lot easier, so I try to use those where I can. Yeah, players are able to connect, everything gets updated, it feels pretty seamless. I'm not doing any matchmaking or anything, since this is definitely a more cooperative type of game, but I do hope to integrate Steam multiplayer, like the friend invites at some point. I also have the inventory system up and running. You can pick up items, move them around, you know, basic inventory stuff that's pretty self-explanatory. And besides the more technical stuff, I got a ton of the pixel art done, a few sounds, pretty rough main menu, but it's sort of getting there, and really just sort of the foundation of the automation pillar setup. Right now it's just a furnace and conveyors and movers, which, well, they move things. But we're getting there. I think really my next big goal, of course, is polishing everything up a bit, but I also want to jump into the dungeoning part of the game. And the way I plan on doing this is by creating a bunch of different prefab rooms. Then when a player goes into a dungeon, it randomly generates a map with these put together in unique ways. And in each of these rooms, enemy type, count, maybe obstacles could also be randomized as well, just to make each room feel a little bit more unique. But hopefully that'll give enough variety in these dungeons. To get into the dungeons, my plan right now is that you repair your ship with some basic materials, and that kind of opens you up to exploring these dungeons on different moons in the solar system. But yeah, that's the project right now. Just wanted to keep it short. If that sounds like an interesting game to you, then there are a few things you might want to know. First is that I'll be putting up more devlogs, so be sure to check them here on the channel. I've also got the Big Boy Games Discord server set up, so if you want to take a closer look at what I'm doing or just chat about anything really, feel free to join me on there. Link in the description. I'll also be streaming development of this game too on Twitch. Right now I plan on doing that every Wednesday and Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So feel free to catch me there. And lastly, I set up a Ko-fi coffee. I don't know how. Completely optional. No rewards yet. But if you want to support development of the game, then that would be the place. Okay. Self-promotion done. Just wanted to inform anyone if they're interested. But yeah, I'll be trying to get more of these shorter devlogs out soon. Okay. Big boy out.